you. You. Over there.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, we're back. Talking about discovering sacred ground.
It's a little hot. It is a little hot. We gotta dance it off, and we gotta be grateful for our air conditioning.
Totally. Well, I'm trying to control DJ set here, and for some reason I can't shut this music. So I guess maybe we'll just keep on grooving with you. So Eli, welcome. I am not at Rythmia, everybody. I am at Omega Institute, where I'll be teaching this weekend. And Eli, you're not too far away, right?
About 30 minutes south of you, in the Hudson Valley in New York.
Yes.
Absolutely lovely. New York this time of year is beautiful, and so grateful to take some time outside of the city.
I know. It's beautiful to be in the city. It's also nice to have a dance step or two away from the city. And we're so close. So I'm so happy to have you here. So our theme today, everybody, is discovering sacred ground. And again, Eli was with us at Rythmia 6 months ago. And one of the things that we could both, I would say and dance to is that, once you discover your sacred ground at Rythmia, you're always returning home, no matter where you are in the world, to a healed heart, to merging with your soul, and to really knowing truly in your heart who you have become. So on that note, where we have merged and we have shared in such depth of the dance of life, welcome back. And how are you these days?
Yeah, 6 months. It's wild to think that 6 months ago I was a different person, and yet since then every different aspect of my life continues to change in such beautiful, positive ways. And yeah, that theme of coming home, right? That I'm coming back to myself so many times over. Understanding we can merge back with our souls up multiple times. I sometimes feel like on a daily basis, I catch little pieces of myself, whether it's a baby picture or a feeling I had doing something. So it's been a really beautiful journey since then.
So beautiful. So as Rythmia continues to stir in your heart, how has it shifted for you, returning home to your own sacred ground and really embodying the teachings that you received at Rythmia?
It was a little tough. I was really fortunate. I took some time to travel around after spending time at Rythmia. That integration process is really something we honor. So it's beautiful to have a program, but also beautiful to take your time with it. So when I finally got home about a month and a half after the service, I said, oh shit, who am I? I got into my bedroom and I saw all these different pieces of myself, and I was reminded, okay, well, this was a part of me. This was a part of me. And yeah, each part of that sacred journey. I'm from New York City, very different lifestyle than the Costa Rican Tico time. And each little bit of New York kind of can trigger something or can remind you about the tensions in life. So you missed the subway, or it was a hot day on the sidewalk. Little things, just I reacted to them differently. I started to respond to myself differently. And it's been a journey every single step of the way. And yet at the same time, I continue, to come home to myself. I can sit with myself in such a more beautiful way, and I can sit with others in a different way. I think that's been one of the biggest changes.
So beautiful. Yeah, they say that the medicine stays in us. And so it really sounds like in so many ways the medicine is your navigation tool, and you're able to just dream it in and take action with it. And so what is now the next action step of the dream that you received of clarity through the medicine and stepping into it even more and more?
Yeah, yeah, it's curious, the response and reaction from my friends and family, and now my chosen friends and family too. Right, we have so many people that are in our lives from happenstance, so many people we choose to love as well. So seeing their shifts around my medicine journey, I came back kind of still clinging to old parts of myself. It's been easier said than done to completely take that shift, right? And so I sat with the medicine, I sat with myself, and it's taken some time to stumble a little with some decisions in my life. And yet I'm so grateful that I was able to stumble, because it's only when you realize what you're doing is not what you want to do that you can really start to come into yourself. And so for me, my career is continuing to shift. My relationships are continuing to shift with those people that I thought I was really close with in my life. I'm realizing that perhaps those relationships aren't serving me or serving the greater good. I'm so cognizant of my words now. I choose them so much more wisely versus the rabble and babble that one did beforehand.
Yeah, I like to call that rewriting our soul's contract.
Mm.
It's like it's a different language that we get to go home with, and it's a lifelong journey to live and be and spread that new language. So yeah, so what would be right now for you a beautiful, talking about language, a beautiful affirmation that you could share from the experience of where you started and where you are now? So if you were to just tune in for this moment of time and really connect to that beautiful healed heart, and to feel into an affirmation of great wisdom that comes, that's for you and also for Shane.
Before I came to Rythmia, there were three words I didn't like to use. I didn't like to say the word hate, too strong of a word. I didn't like to say the word need, too strong. We want things. We don't always need things. I didn't like to use the word wish. I found it to be also too strong. If I have to ask higher power and spirit for something that I'm unable to obtain on my own, I've got to check myself. And in speaking with the shamanic team at Rythmia, I was given the ability to understand the word hope better. Hope, such a beautiful word. We use it all the time. And hope leaves room for a lot of negativity. I hope I have a good day. You leave this huge space for not having a good day. I hope I do well. You leave such a negative space there when we use that word. And so I'm learning more to spread that faith and that trust that whatever's coming in whatever journey and trials and tribulations you have, take a moment and trust that that is meant for you. And so we'll catch ourselves using that word hope. I hope you have a good time. I hope this email finds you well. It's hard to remove, but it's such a powerful shift in our consciousness and a powerful shift in how we communicate with others.
So beautiful. So you talked about the tribe, the soul family that was gathered on your week. And from what I know, Drew, those types of connections are never to be lost. And so how are those connections supporting your journey? How are you feeling with this new soul family, that whether you see them regularly or not, just knowing that they're there for you because they've gone through the same?
Yeah, well, a quick shout out by name, because calling someone by their name is the highest expression of love. So my dear Tiara, Sharon, Bonnie, certainly couldn't forget Asif and Jeremy and the rest of my crew, certainly Donovan. I didn't expect to find such a deep soul connection with so many people. I went down with a friend. I said, okay, I'll meet some new friends. And yet my integration journey would not be the same without having such deep, loving family and support to say, how are you doing what you're doing? How have you been? And actually asking, right? We say so often to people on the street, okay, how are you? Our friends. But these are people that really want to know how I'm doing. That's beautiful. And at the same time, I care so deeply that I try to keep in touch with them just as much. And I certainly know the rest of the Rythmia alumni that I've met from different stages. They feel similarly about these connections they've made. And they go, wow, not only was my life changed, but I found people that I can continue to connect with. Oh, I see Diane. So my dear flying friend, Diane, who's always running around. One day I'll find her in New York. Yeah, I'm just so grateful to all of them.
So, my dear wise friend, what would you say to someone who really, really wants to come to Rythmia and yet has that fear that is very natural to have? What would be someone as you, our alumni? What would be some good, direction or clarity that you could bring forth to someone who really, really wants to come but has that fear?
Yeah, fear's a tough one, right? I think do less research. We live in a hypochondriac society. We live in a society where we think we can find all the information we need online. Just release that. And fear is so much about understanding what exactly it is we fear. Is it the fear of failure? Is it the fear of pain? Is it the fear of something bad happening? Is it our health? When we go back to looking at that and trusting our intuition, usually fear is where we need to go, right? We need to look at what's wrong. We need to stare in the mirror. So I might say, okay, I've watched enough, Rythmia videos. I've been teetering on this. If you're still looking at it, it probably means you're meant to try it out. If it still calls to you, right? After a month, you say, oh, you know what? I saw it. It wasn't for me. Maybe it's not. But if you're still watching 12 minutes into our video and you're like, something changed with that guy, then yeah, you've probably got something on your hands you might want to explore.
Beautiful, beautiful and inspiring. So as you so beautifully pointed out, for all those who have stayed and continue to gather with us each and every week, it's such an honor to be able to either on site interview Rythmia movers and shakers, or when I leave on my own pilgrimages and vision quests, I get to still hold that space. And now I get to work with alumni. And so really who we are when we enter onto sacred grounds at Rythmia are not the same when we leave. And Eli is definitely a walking and dancing testimonial of that. And so I want to acknowledge your journey. I want to acknowledge your courage, and to also just bless you as you continue to spread your wings and allow for the great spirit, the great mystery to really land you on and to the most sacred grounds of where your soul is ever so ready and says yes. So thank you, dear one.
Yes.
Yes.
It's that constant yes. It's that, that was another big one.
Yes.
It's like that constant yes. We're faced with so many options these days, and people say, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Do you want to go left or right? Just yes. So much yes. So yes to Parashakti and all the work you do. And yes to everyone who's been and will be there with us. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Well, I know that you will be visiting the sacred grounds of Rythmia, and we will be dancing very soon all together. And for all those who want to come and dance with us, just say yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Eli and everyone else, have an extraordinary weekend and so many blessings. And I will see all of you very soon. Thank you so much, Eli.
Ciao.
Ciao.